You were made to explore, not just the world, but yourself. And sometimes the very thing we need to grow is the very thing we avoid. Let's talk about it. Today we're diving into the fear that keeps people from traveling. And I'm not just talking about airports and passports. I'm talking about the deeper fear, the one that whispers, stay where it's safe, stay where it's familiar, don't risk it. Let's unpack that. Before we get into this life-changing message, take a moment to like this video, subscribe if you're new, and drop a comment below. Your support doesn't just help the channel, it helps the mission. Every like pushes this message further. Every comment becomes part of something bigger than us. We're not just creating content, we're building a movement. So show love, stay connected, and let's keep growing together. Now let's get into it. You ever hear someone say, I can't afford it. I don't have the time. I don't know where I'd go. I don't even like planes. But let's be honest, those aren't always facts. They're fears dressed up in logic. Because what we're really saying is, I'm afraid to be uncomfortable. I'm afraid to be lost. I'm afraid to be alone. I'm afraid to face parts of myself I've buried. Travel makes you meet the version of yourself you've ignored. The unknown feels like danger, but in reality, the unknown is where life begins. We stay in our cities, our routines, our habits, because they're predictable. But what if predictable is what's making you feel stuck? What if the discomfort of going somewhere new is exactly what would wake your soul up? Fear says, don't go where you don't know. But faith says, there's something waiting for you there. For a lot of people, traveling means isolation. You're out of your environment. You don't speak the language. You're not with your people. But let me flip that. What if being alone was the gift? What if the silence of unfamiliar places gave you the chance to hear your own voice, and God's voice, clearly? We avoid alone time not because we're introverts, but because we've made noise our comfort zone. Here's the truth. Travel will humble you. You'll get lost. You'll mispronounce things. You'll try food you weren't ready for. You'll have moments where you don't know what you're doing. But guess what? That's the beauty of it. You don't need to be in control all the time. Sometimes you need to be reminded that life has flow, and control is an illusion anyway. Let go. Another big fear? What will people say? If you travel solo, they say you're lonely. If you quit your job to explore, they say you're irresponsible. If you chase something unconventional, they call it a phase. But this journey is yours, not theirs. People fear being judged for stepping out. But let me tell you what's worse. Living a life that looks good, but feels wrong. Some people don't travel because they're afraid they'll realize how disconnected they really are. They fear they'll leave their city and realize they don't know who they are outside of their titles, their roles, or their zip code. But hear me, that's not failure, that's freedom. Because once you realize you're lost, you get to actually start the journey home. We say, when I have more money, when the timing is perfect, when I figure out my life. But here's the secret, you're never fully ready. You grow as you go. Travel isn't about being perfect, it's about being open. Open to new ways of thinking, open to transformation, open to God moving in unexpected places. Comfort is one of the most dangerous prisons. It doesn't come with chains, it comes with routines. It doesn't scream. It whispers, you're doing fine, don't change a thing. But real growth only happens when you leave the comfort zone. That city you've never been to. That conversation with someone from a different culture. That solo trip you keep pushing off. That might be where your breakthrough lives. When you travel, you don't just see the world. You see yourself more clearly. You notice your fears, your assumptions, your judgments, your values, your soul. The world reflects what's inside you. And sometimes you need a change of scenery to see that reflection clearly. You don't need to be fearless to move. You just need to move with faith. Fear will always have something to say, but freedom will always speak louder, if you let it. The places you dream of going to, they're not just destinations. They're parts of your healing. Go for the growth. Go for the lessons. Go for the version of you waiting to be unlocked. And if fear shows up again, tell it this: I'm not running from fear, I'm walking toward freedom. You can change your surroundings, switch coasts, cross oceans, move from city to village, and back again. But if your pain comes with you, so does your prison. That anxiety, that trauma, that broken self-worth, You carry it in your suitcase, right next to your passport. It doesn't care how beautiful the view is. If you're at war on the inside, no place on earth will feel like peace. Let's be real. There's a reason travel feels healing at first. It's new. It's distracting. It's romanticized. And for a while you feel free. But soon the silence comes back. The same questions you avoided at home find you in that hotel room. You realize you didn't take a journey. You delayed a confrontation. And no destination will ever replace the need to do the inner work. A lot of people think, if I move here, I'll be happier. If I go there, I'll be someone new. If I leave this city, I'll leave my problems behind. But your identity is internal. Your wounds, your beliefs, your insecurities. They don't check luggage. You don't become someone new just by switching locations. You become someone new when you transform your mind. Otherwise, all you're doing is changing the backdrop, not the story. The fantasy is powerful. You imagine walking through unknown streets, nobody knowing your name, free to reinvent yourself. But the truth? You don't start fresh if you're still haunted by yesterday. Your past isn't tied to geography. It's tied to your growth. Real transformation doesn't start with a flight. It starts with facing yourself. And until you do that, every new place will feel like the old pain. Some people think travel equals freedom. But freedom without discipline? That's not liberation. That's just drifting. If you're avoiding accountability, if you're running from structure, if you're using planes to delay purpose, you're not free. You're just hiding. True freedom is internal. You can be free in a studio apartment. You can be imprisoned in paradise. It's not about where you wake up. It's about who you wake up as. You want to feel peace? Try this. Stay still. Sit with your thoughts. Turn off your phone, no distractions. Just you and God. That's where the real journey starts. Because healing isn't found in travel blogs. It's found in inner silence, in reflection, in prayer. You want to transform? Stop chasing new places. Start embracing your soul. I've met people who've been to 30 countries, but can't sit in a room alone. They use sunsets to cover shame. They use culture to avoid calling. They use movement to avoid meaning. It looks like adventure, but inside, it's avoidance. Travel becomes a costume, a way to look alive while slowly fading. Don't confuse movement with healing. Don't confuse change of scenery with change of self. Your soul doesn't need Paris, or Bali, or Costa Rica. It needs peace. It needs alignment. It needs God. And while those places might inspire you, they're not your salvation. Only purpose can satisfy. Only truth can set you free. Only presence can bring fulfillment. And that can happen anywhere, if you're really there. Every country has a border. Every destination has a map. But the journey within, that's spiritual. That's sacred. It has no GPS, no passport, no itinerary, just honesty, surrender, and courage. Because when you face the parts of you that hurt, you stop looking for healing in places that never promised to give it, and you finally begin living, not running. This is seeing unlimited greatness, and this is your reminder. The world is beautiful, but it can't fix what's broken inside. No city can fill your soul. No flight can carry you away from truth. If you want to heal, look inward. If you want to grow, stay grounded. If you want peace, stop running. Travel when your spirit is full, not when your heart is hiding. If you'd like to support the channel and help us keep pushing forward, there are links in the description where you can donate. Every contribution helps us reach more people, do more good, and keep this mission alive. There's also a store down below where you can grab something for yourself, or even better, a gift for someone you care about. It's a simple way to spread love and let someone know they matter. We're all just trying to grow, to become better, to rise above the noise and step into who we're really meant to be. And I truly believe change is possible, the kind of change that creates a ripple effect and helps others see the beauty still left in this world. This channel is about real growth, real transformation, and I'm here to give you a front row seat to what that looks like. Raw, honest, and grounded in purpose. God is within all of us, and my goal is simple: to reflect that light as clearly and powerfully as I can, for you and for the world around us.